Foldable devices play a significant role in the smartphone marketplace as one of the few signs of evolution. Whether it's from Google, Samsung, or any other OEM, foldable phones have pushed the industry forward. Now, I have a soft spot in my heart for the original Pixel Fold because it was my first foldable and it truly introduced me to a different smartphone experience. I used the Pixel Fold extensively, making several videos about my experiences, and fast forward to a few days ago, my order for the Pixel 9 Pro Fold finally arrived at my doorstep, and this has to be like the biggest year-over-year design change that I've ever seen. The glow up is real. Now, for the sake of avoiding tongue twisters, for the remainder of this video, I'm mostly going to be calling the Pixel 9 Pro Fold the Fold 2 because that should have been its name to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. It's clear that the Pixel Fold 2 is strikingly different. Google has changed the aspect ratio to a form factor that's much more widely accepted in the marketplace, and this gives users a familiar size on the outer screen that opens and expands to a 20:9 aspect ratio, so definitely taller than the previous year's Fold at 17.4:9 aspect ratio. And the most noticeable difference is on the outside, with a taller, narrower display, replacing the short and stout passport style in the previous model. Which, by the way, I am a fan of this change. I really enjoyed the passport style. It felt different. I love the aspect ratio when opening it up. It felt, a little bit more narrow and just kind of felt more landscape. But I'm really happy that they did not decide to go with the Galaxy Fold form factor with that useless, skinny outer display. So this is a happy medium. I maintain that the original Pixel Fold was a premium feeling device with great materials and build quality. The Pixel Fold 2 refines this even further with a thinner, lighter body, slimmer bezels, and flat matte edges. Evolution becomes apparent as soon as you open the Pixel Fold 2. The hinge we wanted last year is finally here and I love it. It opens completely flat with the hinge disappearing when fully extended. The crease is still present but much less noticeable, and once again the inner screen lays entirely flat on its own, whereas last year's model needed a little extra push to reach that full 180-degree angle. This was one of my biggest pain points last year, and I am glad that it has finally been addressed. Both Pixel Fold and Fold 2 are all about the displays. The Fold 2 is flexing a larger 8-inch main display and a 6.3-inch cover display. In contrast, the original Pixel Fold features a smaller 7.6-inch main display and a 5.8-inch cover display. The Fold 2's displays also incorporate LTPO technology, which enables dynamic refresh rates for improved battery life. They're significantly brighter too, with 1800 nits in HDR and 2700 nits in peak brightness compared to the Pixel Fold's 1000 nits in HDR and 1450 nits in peak brightness. In terms of display quality, the Fold 2 represents a major upgrade. The processor marks another significant improvement. Last year, I was disappointed that the Pixel Fold launched with the older Tensor G2 when it should have launched with that year's flagship in the Tensor G3. Google didn't repeat that mistake this time, incorporating their latest Tensor G4 chip, and looking at synthetic benchmarks, this represents a substantial leap considering these processors are essentially separated by 2 years of development. The Fold 2 also offers enhanced memory and storage capabilities featuring 16 gigs of RAM compared to the original's 12 gigs of RAM, and also a faster UFS 4.0 storage versus last year's UFS 3.1 storage. Now, when it comes to performance, I don't typically put a heavy load on my smartphone. My high-end usage only really consists of gaming in Pokemon Go or Clash of Clans and light editing in CapCut. Both phones handle these tasks well, but the Fold 2's boost in power is geared more towards AI-driven tasks for Gemini. Another notable upgrade is the inclusion of Wi-Fi 7 on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. If you have compatible hardware and sufficient internet speeds, you'll experience a significant boost in Wi-Fi performance. The camera hardware in the new Pixel 9 Pro Fold isn't drastically different from its predecessor. It features a 48 megapixel wide main camera, a 10.5 megapixel ultra wide camera with macro capabilities, and a 10.8 megapixel telephoto lens offering 5x optical zoom and also up to 20x super res zoom. And this is one area where I wish it would match the flagship Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL. I'd love to see the same 50, 48, 48 megapixel camera stack across the board. It would make sense on paper, especially now that we have product line parity with the Pixel 9 naming. It seems logical to give us the flagship hardware, especially if the phone bears the same Pro name. Despite this, the Pixel Fold 2 boasts an updated image processing pipeline that leverages AI algorithms to produce stunning photos. Google has a track record of achieving impressive results with modest hardware, so it's not necessary to fixate on raw specifications when the end product remains top tier. But for $1,800, I still wish we had that 50, 48, 48 camera stack that's also on the Pro line. The software experience is nearly identical outside of anything that is impacted by the difference in form factor. Neither phone has Android 15 yet, but both will when it launches. Google's flavor of Android is my favorite and it remains minimal, fluid, and clean, so there's no complaints in software. Interestingly, the Pixel Fold 2's battery capacity is slightly smaller than its predecessor. However, thanks to the new LTPO display and a significantly improved Tensor G4 chip, users are reporting much longer screen on time and standby time. I've only just received the phone, so it's still learning my usage patterns, and even so, it already feels better than last year's model. Remember, the Tensor G2 was infamous for overheating and poor battery life, and the bar was pretty low to begin with. And happily, Google has addressed these issues, and the Fold 2 is much more power efficient with that updated chip. Now let's talk money. Both the Pixel Fold and the 9 Pro Fold launched at the same price of $1799, though you can now find the original Fold for a fraction of that. I'd argue that this year's Fold feels more worth the money, given its modern hardware and a flagship processor this year. So there's that. Now, if it wasn't already clear throughout this comparison, my overall winner without a doubt is the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. We finally checked most of our boxes with this year's Google Foldable, and its mere existence makes the original Pixel Fold feel like a relic of the past. This is the first time that I can wholeheartedly recommend a 1-year upgrade, because in reality, it's a 2-year leap forward. It's something that you notice the moment you pick up the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Now, if you're still hearing the sound of my voice, you should definitely be subscribed. I don't know why you're not, but on screen right now, you're gonna see a couple videos, one that YouTube wants you to watch and one that I think will be cool. But until next time, stay fresh. Peace.